Greetings to you viewers. ArchiCAD being made easy by Steven Zaverima. Today I'm going to be working and also assisting you on how to draw hipped roofs as well as barn style type of roof. I'm going to be using the previous drawing that I've used in my previous lectures on how to draw hipped roofs as well as monopitch roofs. I'm going to copy this other building that I did previously for a hipped roof as well as a vent type of roof. So I'm going to copy it as we highlighted before, Ctrl Shift D. Then I copy this whole building to the next position. So now I no longer need the hipped roof. So I need to delete it. But if I pick it like that, I realizing that it's just picking one plane. I just want to pick the whole plane. I can utilize another command, which is very nice, which is very good, which can actually help you in speeding up your work. The suspend group option, this one here over here. So if I click it, I can easily pick all the objects which are in that group. If I suspend, it means that I can only pick one at a time, which will delay my progress. So I make sure that they're combined so that I can pick them at once. Then I delete, press delete. Then I can move on to another. So you have learned another function of ArchiCAD that you can use in drawing and speeding up your work. So let's move on to the next stage of drawing a hipped roof. We go to our command, please ArchiCAD draw. By clicking that, I'm telling the ArchiCAD program to draw a roof. So I click this. Still, I continue to use the option that I used for my hipped roof. So I pick, since this is rectangular, I will use that option to speed up my work. Then I've drawn my hipped roof, but I don't want my hipped roof. I want a what? A gable roof. So this part should be somewhere over there. So I'm going to change that part. I click the arrow tool, the selected tool, then I click my roof. Can you see now it has some nodes. So I pick the node that I need to change, which is this part. So if you pick that node, it brings another dialog, this other dialog over here. So there's the drag, rotate, mirror, elevate, and multiply. Oh, this that's not what I want, but I want to move a node. Stretch horizontal ridge. That's what I want to do. So I click that one. Then I stretch. Can you see as I'm stretching, the node and the plane is being moved to the end. So that's where I want it to be. So you see, I've created a gable end. Let's see in 3D how it looks. See, that's how it's looking. Of course, I did not change the pitch, but I can change by clicking this. Make sure that my pitch is reasonable. Maybe I put it at 25 degrees. See, so that's my pitch. But can you see there's that gap? We don't want it to look like that. So how do you do it? Either if you want a different finish here, you go to your first floor, for instance, you go in the first floor, or you can pull this. Since our previous version, our previous lecture, we pulled this. Let's try to use a different option. So here we are going to have a different method and we go to the first floor to fill that gap. You see, so we go on ground floor, then there's something that I'm going to teach you which is very interesting. How to pick or to match parameters or to copy characteristics. So for instance, if I don't just want to go on the wall there, I can just use this function here, pick up parameters. So I click that, then I pick the parameters here. Now can you see I'm already it's like I've already instructed the computer to start drawing walls by just picking those parameters. And I can inject these parameters by picking that and injecting them on a certain surface that might have different parameters. So I go on first floor. So when I'm first floor, you see there's a roof there, but like I don't want this to disturb me. The reason why I'm seeing this view is because of my selection here, on this part, cover view. Yeah, that's why I'm seeing those views there. So if I don't want them to disturb my drawing and to congest my drawings, I can remove the cover view so that I can see the line drawings better. So I remove that. Say okay. See, so at least it's better. But I can't see the walls. So there's this other function here, over here, trace. If I click it, it gives me other options. See, other options. Either you can see the story above or current story below. But what we want to do is to see the below story. So I click that. So can you see? I can see where my walls end. So it becomes easier for me to trace if I make sure that this is on. If I click it off, I can't see. If I click it on, I can see. So that's how important this trace command is, especially if you are drawing high-rise buildings. So I click my wall, then maybe I want it to be a different type of wall with a different feel altogether. So I can change it here. Maybe I change it to, maybe let me use a different material. Maybe let me use blue. Maybe that might not be, might be the same with that other color. Let me use blue. And then just make sure that everything is blue by linking that. Say okay. So I pick from that. But can you see, when I'm drawing, this line of mine or wall of mine is both on one side and the other side is not both. It's because of this selection here. Either it's outside, center, or inside. So you choose the one that you want to use. Let's assume I use outside. What happens? That's the outside. How about if I use the inside? You see, the inside, then the outside, something like that. Can you see? It picks the outside. You see, if I use the center, it picks the center part. So right now I was using the what? The outside. So I can have my wall over there. I've put my wall there. And if you see, this wall is starting where? Let's see, is on story 1 and starting at 0. So it starts exactly where that other wall is starting from. Okay, let's see it in 3D so that you have an idea of what I'm talking about. So this wall was starting at 0 and going as far as what? 3 meters. But this wall is also starting where this one is ending, at floor number 1. This was floor 0, this is floor number 1. And now I have my gable end like that. But still again, as you can see, my gable end is a challenge. As you can see, I don't want that part, so I have to trim the same way we did previously. Escape to cancel any command active, then I select 2, then I select my wall that I want to trim, then I pick the trim elements. Here you have to be careful. If you pick this part, it will only trim one side, which will affect the appearance. It will not trim that correctly, so it will affect the way this thing is. Let's do it as an example. If I do like that, can you see? Of course, with ArchiCAD in 26, it just picks the whole plane, but in some ArchiCAD it will pick one plane. So you have to be careful on that. Normally, I always want you to pick on the apex or on the cupola of that in structure so that it correctly picks that trimming part. So now you have your clean gable end with a different surface. You see, but you could also have used the same color up there if you want. So that's how you draw a what? um, a yipped a gable end. Let's assume you want to have a band style type. The band style type is very easy. You draw the same way you draw. Let's turn this other side here to be a band style, and this side will be a gable end. The same way we did that side. Let's go on ground floor. Then what do? I think this is too much. I can reduce it to maybe let's leave it like that. Then my wall here is still combined, so I suspend so that I can pick each individual, or I can pull this by dragging by using that, or I can use this other function here, adjust, where I click it, then pick the point where I want the wall to end. Pick this wall and click there, and I want it to end there. That's another way of doing that. I'm trying to make my band structure design. Then I pick that hole using that element. See, I have that. That's how you do it. But there are many ways of doing it. You can also use the Morphe tool. So let's see how this looks in 3D. This side. So here I'm going to pull this. Then I trim it. Now you know how to trim it now. Then these ones I can make them because I want them to look like that. So I can change the material to gloss white, which is the same as that. Then I can just make everything white here by linking that. See? But it's not coming out. Let me just increase the thickness of that so that it comes out more robust. Probably because these are pre-made, I can use the plain one, which I can adjust to whatever height I want. Maybe I put it to 500. Then say okay. See, then I can have my walls again to 500 because they have to be the same in terms of the way they look. That's how you can make your band structure. As you can see, it has to intersect. So I want it to intersect with that corner. So see, I have that. See, if the materials are the same, you find that it will have clean intersections over that side. So that's how you produce a band structure, a band style type, and a gable type of design. There we have our mono pitch, there we have our gable, and here we have our band style type. Thank you very much for viewing. We hope to meet in other lectures to do with ArchiCAD. We do it step by step, making ArchiCAD easier. Thank you. My name is Stephen Zaveri. Have a blessed day.